If Tahrir Square is the heart of Iraq's protest movement, this building, called the Turkish restaurant, has been its nerve center. From its upper floors you can observe the entire square, the river Tigris and front lines on strategic bridges. But the protesters are no longer in charge of it. Last Saturday, supporters of Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr, wearing blue hats, took the building. And since then, there's fear they might seize control of the entire movement. These young men say Sadr supporters forcibly evicted demonstrators, beating those who resisted. Now they're no longer allowed to enter.
For
the protest square, the most important building is that building because we can watch everyone from the Turkish restaurant. When there is an attack against us, we're able to confront that, but now we don't know anything. We don't see who's coming, who can enter.
The eviction coincided with the appointment of Mohammed Tawfiq Alawi as Prime Minister-designate. Many here firmly reject him. Muqtada al-Sadr, however, has endorsed Alawi, and demonstrators fear that the Sadrists now want to curtail any opposition to their candidate, perhaps even end the protests.
The
worries are there. We don't know their intentions. Maybe taking the restaurant and the stage was just the first step. We don't know if they are with us or against us.
Inside the Turkish restaurant, floors that once teemed with demonstrators stand largely empty, except for a few blue hats conducting cleanup operations. They say their takeover was necessary to remove those they call rogue elements of the movement who use drugs and violence.
The Turkish restaurant was closed to the real demonstrators. The infiltrators controlled it. Even the families don't want to go inside. It became difficult to come inside because there was violence and attacks by Molotov cocktails.
Over the months, Sadr has repeatedly changed his position on the protests. For now, it appears he has decided that it's time for things to return to normal.
It's been 3.5 months. There's been bloodshed, killing and exhaustion. The security forces are exhausted. The demonstrators are exhausted.
Sadr's supporters say that Alawi will only serve for a transitional period until early elections are held. These protesters, however, accuse Sadr of using their movement to meet his political ends. They are determined to stay until their demands for an independent candidate are met. The takeover of the Turkish restaurant signals a growing rift within the protest movement between the followers of Muqtada Sadr who support Alawi as Prime Minister-designate and others who reject him. And some are concerned that these tensions could lead to confrontation, especially if the Sadrists, in cooperation with security forces, attempt to clear more protest sites. Simona, Foltyn, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.